into and doesn't. It's just history, so. Department speaks on internet freedom. Department of State. Okay. Huh. July 7th. Council on Foreign Relations one. Okay. Okay. Council of Foreign Relations. It's better. It's September 17, 2025. I'm gonna try to find President Obama too so he gets to hear this. This is a major event in your life, Secretary Clinton. It's not your fault. So, 1 second. And that's it's about Benghazi. Okay. 1 second. Benghazi is a city in Libya, so this is not a cluster city. Hopefully, probably not the best idea in the world, but sorry. That was actually kind of cool. Much later. Oh, 1 second. President Obama videos told us. Yeah, that's literally 9 hours ago. Well, 18 years ago, that's pretty good, but yeah, oh, there we go. Is there let me see, Welcome to Council on Foreign Relations, maybe. C-SPAN would be better, actually. Hold on. Well, I mean, yeah, let's see. Obama White House. Trump White House, Biden White House. Absolutely not classified. Okay. Videos. Oldest. Hmm. What is
Buenas
this?
tardes, damas y caballeros. Soy Edna Schmidt y esta tarde seré la moderadora de
Is the president here? It says president here, but
Federal para
seems
acompañarles
to.
y quiero darle las gracias por acompañarnos. ¿Qué pasó?
Sorry, it's
Quiero darle las
you heard
gracias,
that, right?
gracias por acompañarnos
That's okay.
en esta asamblea.
Yeah, you're gonna be here the whole time? Yes, you are.
Let's start by addressing three
Okay.
issues.
1 second. Okay. Secretary Clinton, President Obama is in your past, right? So he already heard this, but
Good afternoon,
hey,
everybody.
hold on 1 second.
And so there is never a time when you move on.
Yeah, it's never a good time for bad news. And
Shortly,
Good afternoon, everybody.
President Obama.
Today I want to start by addressing three issues.
It is
First, I'd like
I
to
know.
say the situation.
zoomed in. This is really bad, but I wanted you to. It's not Secretary Clinton's fault. It is September 17, 2025. It is absolutely not. Anyway, listen to this one.
Just actions. I joined with the American
I did not get to watch this, and
each and every innocent life.
This is President Obama and Secretary Clinton delivering remarks on Andrews Air Force Base, and this is this September 14, 2012 for Secretary Clinton.
Let's also bear witness.
The testimony Secretary Clinton is going to give in Congress because of this event will actually propel her to her nomination as. So it's a dark, dark day for her personally and for the United States of America. But I'm telling you, President Obama, it is not Secretary Clinton's fault. It's, if anything, it's Andrew's fault for telling you the future that you are not allowed to prevent anymore. It is September 17, 2025, Wednesday, 11:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So,
This tired strategy of using old tensions to scapegoat other countries won't work anymore.
let me double check that the audio synced though for Hillary.
Iran. In the future that they, only they, will choose.
So hope
Iranian people can speak for
anyway,
themselves.
it's a solemn day. So
In the last few days. In 2009, no iron fist was strong enough to show off the world. We bear witness to peaceful protests of justice.
yeah.
Government's efforts to expel violence, isolate itself.
I did not help the women protest in 2022. I was working in a warehouse and in pain all the time on the hard work. So the Iranian government in the year 2025 is still in existence. Hezbollah is mostly destroyed. Syria has been kind of liberating. it's delicate. Syria is finally been liberated, and sort of. We're still. It's a little. I mean, you know about Alexis, possibly. No, Alexis, I am having trouble holding the Middle East. I'm just having trouble holding the Middle East together. It's not in vain, though. I mean. So, Secretary Clinton is in the future, in your future, and listening about this event that you already know about. Because I wanted to brief you both, and not just about the planet around Proxima Centauri, but I just talked to you on 60 Minutes together. So. You haven't started delivering your remarks yet. The general's going to talk, and Secretary Clinton is going to talk, and it's going to be really emotional and stuff. And President Obama is going to talk. So you need to listen. It's not very long. The general's talking. The Republicans are going to blame Secretary Clinton for this. I am officially creating the evidence that it's not your fault, Secretary Clinton, but nobody will ever know. It's classified. So this stuff is going to be classified. Whose fault it is? I mean, because I'm telling you this timeline that happened, so it's Andrew's fault. I could not. President Obama is standing right there. I could not help you all create a better timeline where this does not exist, because it's a keynote moment in U.S. history. I mean, the Republicans are going to grill Secretary Clinton for this for hours, and she just excels at the. It's at least it's basically the whole day. She just sits there, and then it's one of her finest moments in history, American history. So. But if this doesn't happen, she doesn't get that moment, and she may not. I mean, I still have regrets, you know. President Obama and Secretary Clinton about helping President Trump become president. So the timeline is still the same. So you are going to start talking in the future. I mean, in my past, sorry, in your future. So I will let you both listen to the future that is not your fault. It is absolutely not your fault. So Andrew's in September 17, 2025. You all know what date you are all in. So President Obama's in June. You're in about.
gracious God, on behalf of a grateful nation, and in the presence of grieving family members, friends, and colleagues, we welcome home for the final time Ambassador Chris Stevens, Mr. Sean Smith, Mr. Glenn Daugherty, and Mr. Tyrone Woods. We give you thanks for the lives and the selfless service of these men who wanted nothing more than to make a difference in the lives of other people, to bring justice and freedom to others, who possessed in their hearts not only character and resolve, but courage and goodwill. We mourn their loss. Bless the memories of these men through those who knew and loved them, especially their families, for whom we ask your comfort, your divine care, and your peace in this difficult time. On this occasion, we continue to pray for our nation and its leaders. We ask your blessing on all who serve, military and civilian. We pray for our nation's people. We pray for the defeat of the terror and evil that seems to plague our planet. We pray earnestly for peace. And now, Creator of all, let light perpetual shine upon Chris, Sean, Glenn, and Tyrone. May their souls and the souls of all the departed, through your eternal mercies, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, there's definitely heaven. I can guarantee you that. There's definitely heaven. I mean, long story, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the Secretary of State, the Honorable Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Yeah, I am so sorry, Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chaplain, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Secretary Panetta, Ambassador Rice, Secretary Powell, and Mrs. Powell, family members of the 4 patriots and heroes we bring home, members of the State Department family, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we bring home 4 Americans who gave their lives for our country and our values. To the families of our fallen colleagues, I offer our most heartfelt condolences and deepest gratitude. Sean Smith joined the State Department after 6 years in the Air Force. He was respected as an expert on technology by colleagues in Pretoria, Baghdad, Montreal, and The Hague. He enrolled in correspondence courses at Penn State and had high hopes for the future. Sean leaves behind a loving wife, Heather, 2 young children, Samantha and Nathan, and scores of grieving family, friends, and colleagues. And that's just in this world, because online, in the virtual worlds that Sean helped create, he is also being warned by countless competitors, collaborators, and gamers who shared his passion. Tyrone Woods, known to most as Rome, spent 2 decades as a Navy SEAL, serving multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. Since 2010, he protected American diplomatic personnel in dangerous posts from Central America to the Middle East. He had the hands of a healer as well as the arms of a warrior, earning distinction as a registered nurse and certified paramedic. Our hearts go out to Tyrone's wife, Dorothy, and his 3 sons, Tyrone Jr., Hunter, and Kai. born just a few months ago, along with his grieving family, friends, and colleagues. Glenn Doherty, who went by Bub, was also a former SEAL and an experienced paramedic. He too died as he lived, serving his country and protecting his colleagues. Glenn deployed to some of the most dangerous places on earth, including Iraq and
Thinking
Afghanistan,
about something you told me.
always putting his life on the line to safeguard other Americans. Our thoughts and prayers are with Glenn's father, Bernard, his mother, Barbara, his brother, Gregory, his sister, Kathleen, and their grieving families, friends, and colleagues. I was honored to know Ambassador Chris Stevens. I want to thank his parents and siblings who are here today for sharing Chris with us and with our country. What a wonderful gift you gave us. Over his distinguished career in the Foreign Service, Chris won friends for the United States in far-flung places. He made those people's hopes his own. During the revolution in Libya, he risked his life to help protect the Libyan people from a
Yes.
tyrant. And he gave his life helping them build a better country. People loved to work with Chris. And as he rose through the ranks, they loved to work for Chris. He was known not only for his courage, but for his smile. Goofy but contagious. For his sense of fun and that California cool. In the days since the attack, so many Libyans, including
Yeah.
the ambassador from Libya to the United States, who is with us today, have expressed their sorrow and solidarity. One young woman, her head covered and her eyes haunted with sadness, held up a handwritten sign that said, "Thugs and killers don't represent Benghazi nor Islam." The president of the Palestinian Authority, who worked closely with Chris when he served in Jerusalem, sent me a letter remembering his energy and integrity and deploring, and I quote, "an act of ugly terror."
I don't know if I'm.
Many others from
I don't know how
across
good
the
a man
Middle
he is,
East
though.
and North Africa have offered similar sentiments.
September 17, 2025.
This has been a difficult week for the State Department and for our country.
I don't
We've seen
know.
the heavy assault on
Look
our
at something
post
else.
in Benghazi that took the lives of those brave men. We've seen rage and violence
I mean-
directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
Wait, what happened?
It is hard for the American people to make sense of that because it is senseless. And it is totally unacceptable. The people of Egypt, Libya, Yemen,
Misinformation.
and Tunisia did not trade the tyranny of a dictator for the tyranny of a mob. Reasonable people and responsible leaders in these countries need to do everything they can to restore security and hold accountable those behind these violent acts. And we will, under the President's leadership, keep taking steps to protect our personnel around the
I don't know
world.
what happened to the people who did this, actually. So.
There will be more difficult days ahead, but it is important that we don't lose sight of the fundamental fact
Mhm.
that America must keep leading the world. We owe it to those four
America's
men
memory is
to
long,
continue
so
the long, hard work
I
of
will
diplomacy.
help
I am
the U.S.
enormously proud
government
of the men
hunt them all
and
down.
women of the State Department.
However long it
I'm
takes.
proud
As
of
long as I
all
understand.
those across our government, civilian and military alike, who represent America abroad. They help make the United States the greatest force for peace, progress, and human dignity the world has ever known.
And that
The
is
last
still true
few
in the
days
future.
teach us anything. Let it be this. That this work and the men and women who risk their lives to do it are at the heart of what makes America great and good.
Yeah.
So we will wipe away our tears, stiffen our spines, and face the future undaunted.
Mhm.
And we will do it together, protecting and helping one another. Just like Sean, Tyrone,
Regrets.
Glenn, and Chris always did. May God bless them,
I did not watch this in my
grant
past.
their families peace and solace. And may God continue
I don't think
to
so
bless
anyway.
the United States of America. And now, let me have the great honor of introducing someone who came to the State Department earlier this week to grieve with us. He well understands and values the work that these men were doing for our country.
I am not sure what.
President of the United States.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you heard that in the past, and both of you heard this in the past, and you already knew. It is a solemn moment, and Andrew's gonna take responsibility.
Scripture
Because I'm
teaches us
okay.
greater love
Not your
hath
fault,
no
Secretary.
man than this. Man lay down his life. Glenn Doherty,
I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing, by the way.
He believed that
Andrew does
in
not
his
know
life,
how long I
he
have
could make a
left,
difference.
so.
Calling he fulfilled as a Navy SEAL. He served with distinction in Iraq and worked in Afghanistan. There, in Benghazi, he tended to others,
It's gonna get rough, President Obama, by the way. I will try to
but it was always
help you as much as I
protecting
can.
his friends. Today, Glenn is home.
And
Tyrone Woods,
I wish the past me was ready to help you both. We
Hot
create a
shot,
better world in the
quiet
Middle East.
professional. Salty crossbar, they might not have known, but Lord also served in.
If I remember correctly, when you're giving the speech, the past me doesn't even know he has any superpowers. Not.
Dorothy,
So,
Tyrone Jr., Hunter, and Mordecai. He,
I mean, you can't just go on TV and say, hey, Andrew,
for them,
we can hear you talking to us. Because the world would freak out.
today,
So,
was home.
if you could out and start talking to me, have a conversation with me in time. Then if you did that, I was like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
He knew the perils
If you actually had a conversation with me through time, in my past, and you didn't, so
He laid down his life in service to us all.
because I mean, it would freak out the world to know the future exists already. So it's September 17, 2025, 11:24 p.m. September 17, 2025.
He first
in the
went to
future.
the region as a young man in the Peace Corps during the Revolution. He arrived in Libya on that cargo ship. He believed in Libya's people, how they loved him back.
Yeah.
There in Benghazi, he laid down his life for his friends, Libyan and American, for us all.
I mean, the movie does not paint you in good light, Secretary Clinton, but
For Americans,
it's absolutely not your
for
fault.
patriots, they loved this country, chose to serve it, served it well. They had a mission. They believed in it. They knew the danger.
Trying to make America a little bit okay.
They
You know,
didn't simply embrace
America's in a rough place in the future, by the way.
to live.
The divisions between Democrats and Republicans are so much worse than
Courage,
even in your time.
the hope,
Um,
that's the idealism.
I don't know how to heal our country.
That fundamental American belief that we can leave this world a little better than before. That's who they
Yeah,
are.
I mean,
That's who we are.
by the way, in the future, somebody's gonna try to kill President Trump, and after the assassination attempt, he's a slowly different man. You know, the bullet goes his right ear. It takes off the top of his right ear. President Trump,
Terrible images in recent days. Pictures we're seeing again today.
high-power rifle, assault
Some
rifle.
question this work.
About 2 inches and 2 centimeters to the right, and then
Moments such as this,
President Trump will be gone. So,
anger, violence, even those homes among us.
I guess, I mean,
With all the
I don't
efforts
know.
this week, I
Because
also
if that
felt
bullet
ready
had been
to
just 2 centimeters to the
streets
right,
homemade signs
Kamala Harris would be president.
expressing their
A woman would be
gratitude to
president.
Americans who believe in what we
Yeah.
achieved together.
It's history.
Benghazi with a sign in English. The message he wanted all of us to hear. It said, Chris Stevens was a friend to all liberals. Chris Stevens was a friend.
So,
It's the message
and
that's for Patriots.
I mean, President Trump told me
It's the message
that he wants to go to heaven. He's hoping that this is it. He's gonna try to do his very best to earn a place in heaven. President Trump.
people in every corner of the
Like
world
whatever President Trump is gonna say in the future, whatever kind of man President Trump is,
care not just
in the year
about our
2025, he
interests,
just
but our
said
interests.
he's kind of hoping that this is it. He wants to go to heaven,
Even
and he's
as
kind of
voices
hoping
suspicion,
serving
mistrust,
his country
seek to divide
is the
countries and cultures from
his
one another,
redemption,
the United
President
States
Trump's
of America
redemption. You know.
will never retreat in the world.
Yeah.
We will never stop working for the dignity and freedom that every person deserves.
I'm gonna try to help all of you
Whatever they take.
from the future as best as I could. You know.
It's the essence of American leadership. It's the spirit that
And
sets us apart.
one thing that I just told you in 2013,
They're working together.
my psychologist. I'm sorry to interrupt this speech, but actually, let me finish this one
Their families,
because I can tell you in the past.
all Americans, know this. Your sacrifice will never be forgotten. We will
Yeah, because the 2 videos you have
those who took them from us.
have more than this one. So
We stand fast against the violence.
I will find out who. I think we did get them
Continue to do
actually,
everything
if I
in our
remember
power to
correctly.
protect Americans
Quite
serving
soon.
overseas. And that means increasing security at our diplomatic posts, working with host countries.
Let me
which
pause and
have
I'll give you the
obligations
answer.
to
1
provide
second.
security,
1 second.
and making it clear that justice will come. to
Let me
those who
pause
harm
you in the
Americans.
past. We got them. It's Mr. President and Secretary Clinton, we got them. Ahmed Abu Khatala, AhmedAbuKhattala, captured in Libya in 2014 by U.S. Special Forces and brought to U.S. for trial. In 2018, he was convicted, serving a 22-year sentence. Mustafa Al-Imam, Mustafalimaam, suspect captured in 2017, brought to Washington, convicted in 2019, conspiracy, committing terrorist. He was sentenced to 19 years in prison. Other suspects were killed in the fighting and never caught. Okay. So, 1 second, hold on. Hold on. What just happened? I think something's wrong with the. Sorry. I just told you.
Agree.
Colin 2014, Colin 2017. One convicted in 22-year sentence, one convicted in 19 sentence. Other ones killed in subsequent fighting and never caught. So most likely they're dead. They're either dead or they're captured in prison in the United States. So I know their names. Andrew knows their names, and I just gave you their names. I
Greater
don't know.
love hath no man than this.
If you need them again, I will find a.
Man lay down his life.
I will find a congressional meeting with the U.S. generals and spell out their names for them if you don't remember them. I promise you, I will give you their names already, and we'll get them. We got them.
Watch over the families. God bless.
And I am so sorry, President Obama. And, oh, by the way, you do get the Affordable Care Pass, but it's not. Oh, sorry. Because you were talking about something different than. Anyway, solemn moment. Sorry to ruin your days in the past. Alright, hand over that. Andrew's still a civilian. They got kind of drafted though. Yeah, long story. Everybody is saluting us in the past. I mean, in my past, in the near future, but I don't know if I want to. Sorry. If I did it, you already have memories, President Obama. Because Gaza's BB's in the process of leveling Gaza to the ground right now, so. So I mean, if you can somehow eliminate Hamas in the past, that would not be a bad thing. The Secretary General has memories of when I told her that she almost cried, during her confirmation. Secretary Clinton almost cried during her confirmation when I told her it's not likely for you to eliminate Hamas in the past, but.
Let us pray. Almighty God, creator of us all, and lover of the human race, we commend to you our brothers Chris, Sean, and Glenn, and Tyrone, into your merciful hands to receive them. Deliver them from all fear, strengthen them in your presence, and give them your peace.
By the way, you are both alive in 2025, and I probably can use your help in the future. So, trade, right? I'll help you all in the past as much as I can. Help me in the future protect America because do not trust Vladimir Putin. And seriously. Oh, and then one more thing. There's the national anthem. Or something. I'm just gonna. Here's the national anthem. Not somebody singing it, but just the. Oh, never mind. It's America the Beautiful. Never mind. Yeah. About 4 minutes of the ceremony. It's America's Beautiful. Not our national anthem. Oh, that's something I need to tell you. So, because as soon as the ceremony is done, I will tell you something really important. And because when something bad happens, your first instinct is you want to try to prevent it. And, changing the timeline, whatever you change, always has consequences. And when it's bringing back like a random celebrity, it's okay. But key events like this, it's like resurrecting JFK. It's like bringing back Marilyn Monroe back from life. And it is dangerous to do something important that affects everybody in America like this. You bring back a celebrity, it actually does affect people, but like the celebrity's dead and they're not dead, and it does affect people, but it doesn't affect people like this. Like, just imagine if JFK if JFK is alive, what will happen, right? And it's actually, President Obama's right, it is actually possible to bring JFK back to life, which is somehow the Russians and the Chinese found out that it's actually possible to bring JFK back to life, and they did something so much worse. I cannot tell how different our past is. Andrew cannot tell I cannot tell how different the timeline is. I found out when I get erased. When Andrew gets erased, I do not have memories of being erased. So you can actually do something using my existence, my powers, and erase world history in ways that Andrew cannot detect. So this is really important. So I can't tell how different history is. So for me, everything is literally pretty much the same, pretty much. So they're driving the hearse away now. There's 4 cars, and someone's saluting. Oh my God, a song. This is the forget it, the Appalachian Springs, I think. If I remember correctly, Appalachian Springs. Famous American music. And this is really dignified, so that's weird, but anyway, the video is over. Oh my God, you have so many. Frontline on the 7% presidency, and then anyway, how much time do you guys have in your thing? That's something I need to tell you. So much. Oh, we have so much time. 30 more minutes, at least 30 more minutes, and then at least 20 minutes for President Obama. I am so sorry for this one. This is a result of the Arab Spring that I'm gonna have to try to figure out what happened. But this is something that's much more important. In the future, so I was supposed to find out Secretary Clinton and President Obama that have superpowers in the year 2012. This thing was September 14, 2012 that you just saw on the U.S. State Department. On the airport, September 14, 2012, they come back. And in 2012, just about after this time, I was supposed to find out I have superpowers that I can communicate with you in the past or in the future from Alexis Ren. So Alexis Ren, that little girl's name, has an Instagram, and I've started noticing that she can actually hear me, and she was reacting to me. So she was the very first little girl that actually reacted to me on Instagram, you know. Because on TV, you can't just say, "Hey, Andrew, we can hear you," but you probably can't even do that because the past me would have to be, you have to talk to the past me. September 17, 2025 for Andrew. You will be talking to the future Andrew, who already knows he can talk to you. There's no point. You have to find a video that the past Andrew is watching and then somehow give the information to past Andrew that he's telepathic. And that is the problem. So Andrew in his brilliant wisdom, which is sarcastic, Andrew was a retard. I told Chinese, hopefully, yeah. Oh, questions. Andrew told the Chinese in as early as 2013 that Alexis was the woman that gave Andrew the superpowers, and I haven't met Alexis in 2013 yet, or married Alexis in 2013. So the Chinese tell the Russians, and they tell everybody, and everybody knows about Alexis. And they find out that if you actually separate Alexis from Andrew in the future, you will erase that moment in 2012 of my finding out that I had superpowers, which is what most likely happened. So I had to rediscover that I had superpowers in the year 2021 after a lot of suffering. Andrew's going to have to go through a lot of suffering that you can no longer prevent. Andrew's going to relearn that I have superpowers. And Santa Monica Transcendental Meditation Center. The Santa Monica Transcendental Meditation Center. I'm going to learn Transcendental Meditation. I'm going to start reading a book by Dr. Tony Later called One Ocean the Unbounded Conscious. What's Tony Later's book called? Something Ocean Consciousness book. The book is called One Unbounded. Never mind. One Unbounded Ocean of Consciousness. That's what it's called. The book is called One Unbounded Ocean. Unbounded. And the idea is that consciousness or soul or thoughts is unbounded by space. And Andrew, because Andrew is a scientist, sort of a scientist, you know, trained as a scientist. The moment you tell me that something is unbounded by space, I realize that because there's no such thing as space, President Obama and Secretary Clinton. There is no such thing as space. There's only something called space-time. If something's not bounded by space, your consciousness is unbounded by space, as in your mind can actually go to a different place, sort of, you know. I started realizing that means your mind can actually go to a different time. And I started noticing when I'm doing yoga, because Andrew's going to watch some yoga videos, and I'm going to tell the women in the yoga videos they were beautiful. And every single time I told the women they were beautiful, they would start smiling, and I would start realizing, are you fucking kidding me? You can hear me? Because I told the women they were beautiful, and they smile, and I tell them they're beautiful, they smile, and then I started realizing the women doing the yoga videos can actually hear me tell them they were beautiful. And that's how I learned out in the 2021 timeline that people in the past can hear me. No longer from Alexis. Not from Alexis in 2012. But now I actually remember that I actually was supposed to have known I had superpowers in 2012 from Alexis. And President Obama, Secretary, I don't know why I remember that. I shouldn't remember that. Because that event no longer happened, theoretically. Because if I don't marry Alexis in the future, I should not have that interaction with Alexis in the past. And I got these memories of the 2012 timeline back the moment I quote unquote fell in love. Or at least I learned that I was always supposed to love Alexis. The moment that happened, I started getting memories back, partial memories from 2012. From a timeline that basically should not exist anymore. And that is how I found out that Andrew can be erased. I did not know that I got erased. Because from my perspective, Secretary Clinton and President Obama, I found out that I was telepathic in the year 2021, and I was wondering how the fuck did I wait like 40 years, basically 41 years before I found out that I was telepathic. And that's the thing, I didn't. And I was getting my best guess, Secretary Clinton and President Obama, I got erased in college, like before 9/11. Like around 2000, 1999, 2000, I got erased too, and I just don't remember. And because I never meet the women, the woman that I never make the connection with the woman that would have given me my powers back then in 1999 and 2000, I do not remember ever waking up in the past, and I might have. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you, both Secretary Clinton and President Obama, I'm super duper erasable. Andrew is super duper erasable. Like my life, my timeline, and most likely the world is super duper erasable. So I don't know how much of a danger the world is, of me being erased again. Like Secretary Clinton, President Obama, I am recording this from my phone, my camera phone, and I'm putting this on the internet. So basically, I mean, there should be no way for me, Andrew, to forget that I'm telepathic, because I have all these videos. Why would I record all these videos talking to y'all? But the problem is, and you understand, if we live in a Back to the Future world, Secretary Clinton and President Obama, if we live in a Back to the Future world, these videos could be erased, along with Andrew's memory that he's telepathic, even still. So it is a little scary. So this is the continuum that we are left with. I have a stable 2021 timeline and unstable 2012 timeline. So I can still help you from 2012 and D1, 2020, stable 2021, 2021, stable 2021 timeline, unstable 2012 timeline, 2012. The timeline where I found out that I have superpowers in 2012 has most likely been successfully erased by the Russians and the Chinese, because they are main adversaries for wanting to neutralize the time machine, basically. And anyway, so remember when I was talking about the Transcendental Meditation Center? I met a woman during the Zoom calls in the Transcendental Meditation Center named Aruna Shields, Aruna Shield, and that's her stage name. Her full name is Aruna Murphy, Aruna Murphy. Murphy, so her last name, half British, half Indian. And she's actually a psychologist, and I was having troubles in 2024, and I went to go see her twice. Too expensive for me, $250. Sorry, and sorry. But she asked me a question: who is in charge? And Ray Dalio, RAY and DALIO, who is in charge? And the people who do meditation have this idea maybe that cosmic intelligence is in charge, or something else, right? Because think about it real hard. If the effect of something happens before the cause, like if I give you information from the future about what already happens in the future, what happens? I mean, you still have to. When the effect precedes cause, who is responsible for the event? Especially when what I just told you about Benghazi, something that's going to happen in the future. And Andrew's saying I will take responsibility for it because I'm telling you this future, but it's not necessarily true. Because there's something you need to understand, especially with the F-22 fighter jets that we have in the future. We have more F-22 fighter jets than we're supposed to have. But the decision to give us more F-22s is you in the past. And Aruna asked me a question: who is in charge? And the past is still in charge. The past is always in charge of the future, because the moment you actually decide to alter the timeline, you alter me, you create a different future. But there is a cost, because Andrew is a living time machine who has to still interact with World War II, World War I, the creation of Israel. Anytime, at least when there's video, and most likely further back in time, all the way to the beginning of the universe. Whenever you change Andrew in the future, you will have the consequence of changing the entire human history. And I cannot detect when the entirety of human history is altered. Secretary Clinton and President Obama. I mean, I like to joke how I created President Obama, but it's so in my future, I'm gonna go to the Academy Museum in Los Angeles, next to LACMA, Los Angeles Contemporary Museum of Art. And I'm gonna watch a bunch of black films that's from the 1910s to now time, and I spell your name to all the black filmmakers and black actors in the past, letter by letter. I told you, I told them that a black man named Barack Obama was going to be president, and just wait for me. And remember that moment, moment should still exist when somebody asked Martin Luther King Jr., when will there be a black president? And he answered 48 years. That moment should still be there. He knew exactly when there's going to be a black president. But that moment in the past, when he knew exactly when he was going to be a black president, did not exist until you became president. If Hillary had won, Martin Luther King would have given a different answer when you became black president later on, most likely. Not 2008, but you probably would have been President Obama later on. In that moment that Martin Luther King Jr. had in the past would have changed. The year he said wouldn't have been 48, it could have been like at 8 to now, 56. He could have answered 56. You could have been Hillary's vice president. I don't know. And the thing I need you both to understand, Aruna asked me the question, who is in charge? When Andrew sends information backwards in time, it's always the past still in charge of the timeline. And it gets really frightening when the time machine gets hijacked and erased. So right now, Andrew's still the time machine, but there's a problem. If Alexis was, China and Russia. And here's the problem. Who are my children, President Obama and Secretary Clinton? Because of my genetics, there should have been one specific woman that would have created a second generation telepath who is American. Secretary Clinton and President Obama. Besides this, so in the future, Andrew's still American. Andrew's Thomas American, living in America and loyal to America. But my wife, the woman that's supposedly my wife, if she's removed from my timeline, my children would never be born, right? Literally the plot to Back to the Future, President Obama. And if it's already happened, the consequences are already in the past. Like my deleted children, basically. The fact that Alexis and Andrew doesn't have the children that are telepaths, it will have affected American history, world history, and I cannot tell what in history is different because of those missing children, basically. Because those children, if they were telepaths, would have spent the entire lives guarding America, right? They would have I'm hoping daughters. My children would have protected America for the next 100 years and fought for America for the next 100 years as a telepath. And if they don't exist, the future is different. And if the future is different, the past will be different. So I cannot tell how different, Andrew cannot tell how different America's past, the world's past is, because those children no longer exist, theoretically. And that is the problem why I keep telling y'all that Alexis's boyfriend is the devil. Because what does the devil do? The devil destroys the entire world, So, and I can no longer guarantee that China or Russia will not be in control of the future when I die. So, because America has $37 trillion in debt because of the virus. There's a virus in the future that shouldn't even have happened. The virus should not have happened. If Andrew had his superpowers in the 2012 timeline, that pandemic would have been even the H1N1, the H1N1 swine flu that you have in the past, not that big a deal. Not that big deal. Because you think it's a big deal. The swine flu is not even close. Not even close. I mean, swine flu is mildly more deadly than regular flu. You know, so people get really worked out. It's absolutely horrible when you get it. It's horrible flu. It kills people. You know, not even close. In the future, 111 million Americans are going to be infected, and 1.2 Americans are going to the ground from the virus. Let me say that again. 111 million infected for sure. And we couldn't possibly the entire country get infected. 1.2 Americans are going to die from the virus, and they're going to go into the ground in the future in 2020, 2021, 2020, over the course of the pandemic, about 4 years, give or take. And the virus is still spreading. And the binding protein is angiotensin converting enzyme 2. ACE2. A as in apple, C as in cat, E as in elephant, 2. The same binding protein as severe acute respiratory virus in China in 2003. The soccer virus, same virus, but much stronger binding with an MHC1 inhibitor inside the virus. Somebody decided to add some extra gifts inside the virus. And when the binding is ACE2, talk to your scientist, President Obama, what it means. Pituitary gland, ovaries, vagina, lungs, intestines. I mean, let me give you the example. Lungs, nasal cavity, brain. Brain, by the way, is astrocytes. Astrocytes in the brain. It's not neurons. Astrocytes. Last question. It is last question. So, salivary glands, thyroid gland, pituitary gland, stomach, small intestines, colon, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, adrenal gland. That's the thing. Adrenal gland, bladder, breasts. Do you really need your breast if the virus that infects your breast? Women do? Prostate, testes, ovaries, vagina. So when you have a virus that infects your lungs, airborne virus that infects all these cells in your brain, you get multi-system symptoms and this virus causes $37 trillion in death in America. So whatever debt you have. Oh, by the way, if you're worried about the economy right now, I mean, I've told you multiple times. I mean, the economy is going to be okay eventually, and the debt. I mean, even Iraq is going to be okay eventually, mostly. Afghanistan is still in charge. The Taliban is still in charge. So I don't know. But anyway, so you only have it's September 17th, 11:58 p.m. Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, and you only have 1 minute to press out. I will keep talking to Secretary Clinton about stuff, and you know how you meet the Palestinian Authority. He's not. It's I mean, I have to ask, because if I don't, I mean, what happens if I tell the Palestinian Authority that Gaza is getting leveled to the ground? And it's basically demolition by bombs. It's a demolition by bombs, and it's BB is in the process of leveling Gaza to the ground, and Hamas actually says if they knew what was going to happen to Gaza, they would not have sent all the things that Hillary Clinton already know happens. That you know how they rape the women, they cut off her breast and they play around with the breast, and then they were raping. I mean, I'm so sorry, you have to hear it again. But it's still happened, and they are horrible people that deserve to get bombed to death. But unfortunately, the thing is, I mean, you're the only ones. Secretary Clinton, at least 60,000 Gaza civilians died, and over half of them are children. I don't know why there's so many deaths in children. From estimates, they're basically women and children being bombed. Mostly women and children, men and children. Half of them, it's like 30,000 children, just 30 children. And I think maybe because they're so vulnerable, children they get shrapnel and then they just die. So it's very, very difficult. It's hard to work. Queen Rania of Jordan is heartbroken. over it. She's Palestinian. Yeah, the Queen of Jordan, very very beautiful woman. She's Palestinian. She's not happy about it, and that's the problem, I will listen. I will listen to you. Wonderful.
Shut out of the process or had feeling that their contributions were not adequately appreciated. So we had a lot of catch-up work to do, and it was part of
Yeah,
our
I mean,
overall strategic review.
I don't know, but
This year, and he's put
if you were the Russians, you were the Chinese, and you wanted to take over the world, what would you have to do, right?
ongoing discussions with our
Make sure you don't have a time machine in your way.
want to play a part in promoting the strategy.
Because Andrew came to the United States when I was 1989, possibly. And the moment I set foot on American soil, the Soviet Union fell.
It's also
It's not an accident. It's because Andrew's American. The moment Andrew became American from Taiwan, I came on a plane from Taiwan and landed in Long Beach. My name's Andrew, by the way. You might be able to find me, but the thing is, not a good idea. Not a good idea, I mean,
and the government went out and began talking about why it was important to stand with the United States and
Yeah.
others in Afghanistan, and
President Trump is in the UK right now, literally right now, talking to the.
positive response that people anticipated, because you have to be willing to try to
crap.
assuage the fears and anxieties.
'Cause I was just thinking, do you want to talk to yourself about the future? So I will, because there's about what's time you have?
Numbers of people who have volunteered.
I will try to find you another video, and if I this is the thing that was on. So I know you still need help with Afghanistan, but hold on 1 second. Hillary Clinton, China, Putin. What's this say? There we go. Financial Times. Yeah, it's September 18th now. It's past midnight. So I'm gonna try to find you a video. I mean, Hillary Clinton, China has been the threat of U.S. democracy. Financial Times. So September 18th to 12:03 a.m. Thursday. September 18th now. It's gonna be, I will try to find a video for you to talk to yourself. Anyway, that's you 2 years ago. So I will let you talk to yourself about the threat that China and Russia poses to the United States and to democracy from 2 years ago, in 2023. So that you can trust yourself, right? You can trust yourself talking to yourself. I would just play same thing I just did. I know. You can trust yourself. You wouldn't lie to yourself, right? I mean, I just put a video of you 2 years ago and listen to you and then send information. So yeah. So maybe eat something. Eat something after watching this. Because you have a lot on your plate, so try to be careful with. I mean, the Russians. You cannot trust Vladimir Putin. Andrew made the same mistake that everybody made. Andrew trusted Putin, so whoopsie daisy. So part of this is Andrew's fault, because I told people I had the assumption that if there's a woman that I want to marry and she's supposed to be the woman that I marry, everybody would help me, because you wouldn't want me to be erased, but apparently some people do. Yeah, I mean, America's enemies do not want a super weapon, because I don't know how to explain this to you, Secretary Clinton. I've done it before and multiple times. When I'm sending thoughts to you in the past, and your brain cells are listening to me, and now your brain cells are forming connections, neuron connections, from the memory of Andrew telling you stuff from the future. That means the brain cells in your brain is actually moving because of Andrew's thoughts in the future. That is not telepathy, that is telekinesis. That is moving something in the past with your mind. I mean, it's brain cells, but it's still moving objects in the past. With and when you realize it's not just telepathy, it's telekinesis, that Andrew can actually move things in the past from the future. Sorry, I'm so sorry for 41. When you realize Andrew is actually telekinetic, I mean, in the future, I start moving hurricanes away from America to try to protect America from the damage the hurricanes would make. And try moving some of the hurricanes towards America sometimes when we need the rain. Because literally, we need the rain in Los Angeles right now, so there are 2 storms that are moving towards Los Angeles from off the coast of Mexico. So, comets, asteroids in space, and I don't know if I can land a moon on Mars. But anyway, Interstellar Object 3. Interstellar Object 3 is going to make closest approach on Mars on October 3rd. Carmela Rose's birthday, October 3rd. And it's going to swing back around behind the sun and be visible for Hubble telescope on November 23rd. Alexis' birthday. November 23rd, Alexis' birthday, so... and earlier in the year, in 2025, I told Elon Musk and President Trump that I was going to try to hit Mars with an asteroid to see if I can do it. But I did not hit Mars with an asteroid. But the dates of Mars' closest approach, October 3rd, Carmela Rose's birthday, a woman that I liked, and then swings back on the sun, November 23rd, Alexis' birthday, and the other asteroid, 2024 YR4, that makes a close approach to the moon on December 22nd, 2032, if I remember correctly. 1222-2032. So anyway, Andrew's telekinetic too. I can move things in space. I can move things in space. So, and when you find out that America has a super weapon that can actually move things in space, you start to get freaked out. Is Russia or China? Never mind the time machine part. Never mind the point that you're forming history, and it's like, well, Andrew doesn't really want totalitarian governments in the future to control the world, because China is an economic powerhouse in the future. I mean, but if you adjust for purchasing power parity, you know how a gallon of milk costs a different price in China and a gallon of milk in America. Purchasing power parity. If you adjust for purchasing power parity, China has a larger economy than the United States of America, which means China is basically the largest economy in the world right now. And they have their own problem. And America has $37 trillion in debt. So if I wanted to destroy America, the way I would do it is remove the time machine and saddle the United States with so much debt that the dollar is not the reserve currency anymore. And right now it still is. In the year 2025, because you just had a subprime mortgage crisis, and we're worried about the world economy collapsing, right? I'm telling you, it's not. After the end of 2012, economically, the United States is still the top dog economically in the world. Not even close to anybody. But after the virus, after the pandemic, America has $37 trillion in debt. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah.
Seen as part of the intersection of nations. I mean, the G20 is assuming greater and greater.
Yeah. America uses the reserve currency in the world. We use the dollar for all transactions. And banks still hold about 55 to 60% in dollar as a reserve currency for banks. Yeah, last time I checked, 63% if I remember correctly. Last time I checked, so God knows what it is now. It's an average of world banks, so it depends on which bank to hold. So the world still uses dollar as a reserve currency in the world, and then Russian ruble is basically toilet paper. But I need to find another video in your past or in your future of yourself telling yourself. It might be in your past. If it's in your past, then you already heard something we're gonna do. So I'm gonna stop after this. So because all the videos that I've seen are State Department, and White House. It should not flag for copyright violation. If I post it on the internet, no copyright violation is flagged for what I just did. So, but the Financial Times interview, if I watch it, it might get flagged for copyright violation. So I'm gonna do another video.
Part of the reason that I worked to have our dialogue with China
yeah.
be inclusive, comprehensive, is because strategic and economic concerns cannot be divorced.
Yeah.
So on all of these issues,
And that's the problem.
the State Department has to play a role on the economic.
So China and Russia are basically allies in the future,
With everybody.
and we do not know how to separate them because Putin likes to smile that he won because he sort of did. Putin completely won because when you insert a Russian spy into Alexis Ren's life, they completely won. They basically neutralized the time machine for
I think this is just part of our responsibility.
for 8 or 9 years. They erased the time machine for 8 or 9 years, and they might still erase it. So I am assuming that my 2021 timeline is stable. And everybody in the world knows who I am, and the Russians and the Chinese could totally put a bullet in Andrew's head, kill Andrew, and I would never know, If Andrew stops talking to you after a certain date, I got assassinated by the Russians or the Chinese, so. So if I just disappear, the good news is you should have the security clearance to know that I've been killed in the future. If Andrews gets killed, you would find out about it and you would know that what happened to me. So, if Andrew got killed, so, and time goes on basically. There's no looping in time. Because you saw Back to the Future, right? You know understand. When a time machine's gonna do something and you destroy the time machine before the time machine does it, whatever the time machine does in the past will get erased too. Yeah, including possibly World War II, winning against Hitler. That is the thing that Vladimir Putin is trying to do, that I'm guessing, prevent the fall of the Soviet Union somehow. Somehow convince Andrew to defeat Hitler. Like, do everything that Andrew's supposed to do, kill Hitler, win World War I, and then create Israel, but not defeat the Soviet Union yet. Basically, that's what Vladimir Putin is trying to do. Make sure that the timeline up to the Soviet Union is secure, and then kill Andrew, and then restore the Soviet Union. That is what Putin is trying to do. And it is actually possible. Anyway. Okay.